Hey y'all, today I'm going to be talking about my family's cross-country road trip. We've done two sort of cross-country road trip, but today I'm going to talk about the longer one. Our first step in that road trip was to go to Panama City Beach, Florida. And that is where my mom and her family went when they were kids to the beach. It was to memorialize my grandfather. And we stayed there for a little while. My aunt and cousin came up to meet us. It was pretty cool. There was this one restaurant, and there were dollar bills hanging from everywhere, taped to every surface. It was pretty weird. The water was also really, really clear. I live by a beach, but the water is not clear here. That is for sure. The sand was also super, super fine. Every piece was so small. I thought it was so cool. And so our next stop after Panama City Beach was Dallas, which is in Texas, if you don't know. There were two reasons we were going to Dallas, mind you. The first reason was this hotel that my brother and mother really, really liked. We stayed in this, the first time we went, we stayed in a room, just like a normal hotel room, but they really, really liked the pool. It was a cool pool. It overlooked the whole city. It's called the Belmont, and they loved it so much they wanted to go back like halfway just to go to this place. And this time we were staying in like a housing place, like kind of almost like a condo, but not as big. And it was right next to the pool, which was pretty cool. While we were staying in Dallas for 2 nights, I watched the entirety of Avatar: The Last Airbender for the first time. That was interesting. I liked that show a lot. And I think it was about here where I ended up joining a Contest of Champions clan. I went all out with that. I joined like a line group, and everybody would like talk in it. They would talk about their days. It was pretty fun, and we would do the wars and stuff, and our clan was ranked really high. I was getting so much good rewards from it. And now the other reason we were in Dallas, the other 50%, was for this one pizza place called Cane Rosso. And they had secret pizzas. One of them was the Honey Badger, which was like a honey pizza. It was very, very interesting. And we went there pretty much specifically to get that. They had like dessert pizzas. We got a s'mores pizza. It's really, really, really good. Personally, I thought it was a little silly to go to Dallas just for those two things, but they really enjoyed it, so good call, I'd say. The next stop was the Grand Canyon. We went there for a day. It was pretty deep, I have to say. I made a picture pretending to push my brother off of it. I was not afraid of falling, so I would go close to the edge and my brother and mother would like freak out. I swear they were about to pass out half the time. They were both so scared of it. My brother's only ever been more scared of one thing, and that's Daddy Longlegs. After that, we saw this crater. And it was like a meteor crater somewhere in Arizona, I guess. These two might have been out of order, but it's whatever. And it was massive. It didn't look massive or feel massive, but they had like a cutout of an astronaut at the bottom. He was like human-sized. And you could not see him without, like, the binocular things. Again, it really didn't feel that big, but it was huge. Next, we went to Monterey Bay, which is in California. And that place was really, really cool. I don't remember the name of the, resort we stayed at, but it was a full-on condo. We went down to the water, which was, again, pretty clear. I was surprised by that. There were a lot of rocks everywhere, which I was also surprised by. And as we were walking down, the rocks, leaping from rock to rock as kids do. There was like kelp in between the rocks, just big pieces of kelp, which I did not know what it was. Never seen kelp before. Eventually, when we got a little ways down, there was a guy taking pictures, and we looked over, and there were a bunch of seals on a rock over there. So that was really cool. One of them was swimming around, the other ones were like lounging about. We went to an aquarium while we were up there, and that was pretty neat. They had tuna, which was uncommon. They had like some sharks and stuff. After Monterey, our next stop was Tahoe. My mom wanted to go see Lake Tahoe and see what it was all about. She heard there was good hiking and stuff. It was much too touristy for her liking. When we got there, we could barely find a place to go and swim in the lake. It was very difficult to find parking. We had a really nice condo, though. It was very, very nice. But it was around this time that the Contest of Champions clan started to fall apart. This new guy got added, I remember, to this day. He had a wolf profile picture. And he was from the owner's previous clan, which fell apart because of infighting. And this guy was not nice. He was very authoritarian. She instantly made him a moderator because he was from the old one. And he was just all around rude. And that was the start of the end. The next stop after Tahoe was Breckenridge, Colorado, which was about where I was born. I very much like Breckenridge. I love Breckenridge, in fact. It's my favorite place. I would live there if I could, but when we went up there to visit this summer, there was a house that was about... I don't know how to measure a house in any plausible way that you guys would understand, but it was not a big house. It was probably like 1 story. And it was like $3 million, and I was like, oh wow, never living here, huh? But I very much like it. We stayed in like a condo thing. It was pretty cool. We had to be on oxygen, both me and my brother. The first time we went to Colorado, only my brother did. The second time we both did, and the third time neither of us did. Don't know what made the difference, but yeah. My dad flew up to meet us in Colorado. It was just me, my mom, and my brother for the whole trip. We hung out with all of their friends since they used to live there, and that was basically the gist of Colorado. For our next stop on the trip, we went to Indiana to visit my mom's family. I think my dad might have stayed with us for this last part, but we saw my aunt and cousin from Panama City, and we hung out with them. We went to the fair and stuff. I don't remember if we got to go to the state fair that time. But Indiana, they have good corn. That's about all I can say about that. Our final stop was Asheville, North Carolina. My mom wanted to scout the area for a possible, like, vacation or whatever. We've since been camping there twice, but when we got there, both me and my brother were like, I don't want to do anything else. Let's go home. Because it had been like 3 weeks at this point. And so my mom was like, let's list all the things we're thankful for on this trip. And there was a guy talking on the phone, and we could only see his legs. So naturally I said, on top of everything else, that guy over there. And so that's been a running joke ever since then. And on the trip home from Asheville, the clan was crumbling. One guy who was really cool, who I always liked, he had a weed profile picture. He left because the guy was too much of an asshole and he could not handle it. And over the course of the next couple of weeks, everybody was leaving. When we got home after a little while, school started. And when school started, I didn't have as much time to join the clan wars and stuff. And so the wolf profile picture man kicked me out of the clan. And by that point, there were only like a third of the original clan's members in the clan still. And it went from like a fun environment to very stone cold, non-personal, all about the game. I don't know. It was disappointing to see the fall of that clan. We used to talk about like dogs and our days and weird things that happen. But it fell apart. An era of my life came to a close. And yeah, that trip was great. I'm very thankful that I got to go on it. It was very fun. I played through Breath of the Wild on that trip. I watched Avatar. It was very, very fun. Seeing all of the country that I didn't live near. Then coming back to my lame, flat area. Yeah, it was pretty fun. I will never forget that trip. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this, consider spamming all of the Discord servers that you have with the link to my channel. They will appreciate that. Adios.